Alright, I can't get my ducks in a row, but I figured I'd do a little live stream anyway. So I can't get my ducks in a row. What's going on, CSE? What's Village Food Season? What's going on, man? Hey, thank y'all. Appreciate it. I got to keep my channel clean for the time being. I got to do that, y'all. Yeah, I do. I got to keep my channel clean. The Watchman, Dave, you only need the Holy Spirit. Yes, I do. You're right. You are right, the Watchman. Did you know there's so much going on? I'm not even getting into a lot of stuff. I got to keep my channel clean right now until the 10th of February. Anyway, there's so much I've been doing my homework on, but I got to be careful, y'all. Hello, Mike Smith. How are y'all doing? I just went live. I don't know if I can eat that. I've been live 2 minutes, and my significant other just fixed me a big old sandwich. She didn't realize I was going live yet, y'all. Got this big old sandwich up here. I can't eat it while I'm live. I don't do that. For real. Hello, it's me, Delia. Hello, welcome. Good to see you, Delilah. Yeah, I talk about a lot of things here on YouTube. I got to stay clean. I appreciate everyone that subscribe to my channel. I'll subscribe to you. I'll do that. When you subscribe to me, Miss Delilah, I'll subscribe to you. Thank you. Good to see you. I got to keep my channel clean. The good Lord has brought us through so far on this snowstorm. Yeah, in case you didn't know, we've had a snowstorm here in South Carolina. I can't eat my sandwich, y'all. You guys make sure you look into this Rex 84 is definitely on target for what's going on. I've looked into a lot of things, and I don't want to put it out there like this today. There's a lot of things going on, y'all. A lot of distractions and things. I don't want to lose new subscribers because God is good every day. And I'm going to talk about the good Lord some days coming up ahead. Super Dave channel is going to have different topics off and on. Not always the same thing because it gets boring anyway. But the truth, yes, the truth. That's something I want to keep staying on. Definitely, because 2026 in the year of the firing horse is coming up in February, the beginning of. Super Dave knows all about it, y'all. Yeah, a lot of things. 2026 will probably be more action packed than 2025. For real, y'all. Yeah. Can y'all hear me? What's going on? Good to see you too. And I will subscribe to you. I like a clean channel. We don't have no drama here. But we do talk about truth a lot over here. Truth that you might not find in a lot of places, like under the rug kind of stuff. But I won't talk about that stuff today. Like central casting and things that maybe, a lot of people's not aware of, that we're just watching a movie. In politics and sports and entertainment, the music industry, and a lot of things like that. We're just watching, people from the past that even come out like, I don't know how to describe it in a way. So, yeah, it's like, I don't look. You ever watch any of my shorts and some of my videos and central casting, you'll understand. And some of my live streams. But anyway, y'all, we're going to keep it clean today. Can y'all hear me? Good to see you too. Well, thank you, ma'am. It's me, Delilah. Fun and entertainment, y'all. I'm just going to play some videos today. Kind of like things a lot of people didn't know about. And keeping it clean, that's the right way to go. Because we are a community of God believers and, things. I mean, look, y'all, God created the heavens and the earth, and he created you and me. Can y'all hear me? For real. The central casting is for real. Yes. Well, thank you. Did I get a 5x5 yet? Some of this will be interesting, I think, to a lot of people. I still got a little piece of coffee over here. Let's start out with a video, y'all. There's all kind of videos out there about everything else. It's Sunday. It is Sunday. Mysterious crystal cave has lethal atmosphere. It's the unexplained. Ain't that crazy? Just saying, y'all. Let's keep it clean. Because I do have a monetization still to work on. I mean, you're welcome to be here. If you don't like the subject at hand, you know what to do, y'all. Flip the page, go whatever. Fox, the cutest dog in the West. Hello, Fox, the cutest dog in the West. Hello. Hope he's doing good, y'all. It's a beautiful little dog. Yes, I watch Fox in the park a lot of times. We are in God. We fear not, and we give truth, and we don't worry about what they might do. So, yeah, thank y'all for coming in today, y'all. I'm going to play a little bit of videos and stuff about the trees and the mountains and things, Let's, if you like to watch and listen, you might learn something today, y'all. Let's do it. Start out with some sound here, y'all. Here we go. I was like, man, what am I going to talk about today? Play some videos that people don't know about. Lakeside Laura. Yes, energy. Lakeside Laura likes frequencies and things like that over there. Leslie Bosler. I'm still morning here, West Coast. You sure are. It's me, Delilah. Crystals radiate heat and energy. Yes, they say these crystals are very hot. And this cave is hot. Humidity. It gets hot humidity here in South Carolina, but apparently these are so unbearable. Crystals, they have energy, frequencies. Apparently, this lady is hearing a hum. A lot of people believe that crystals have some type of energy, power, frequencies. I don't know a whole lot about them. They are very interesting. These are huge crystals, y'all. The Roxy Files, good afternoon.
Because I learned to stay strong. Concrete in the dirt I was raised on. Know how to put in work. Grinding all day, it's game on. My skin is thick, yeah, it's tough. Running, yeah, we stay alive. Ain't gotta look nowhere else.
I don't know where that music is coming from. What's going on, y'all? For real? Just music playing in the background. It's crazy, y'all. I don't even know where it came from, but Wayne the Pain, how are you doing? A lot of people carry crystals in their pocket, crystals have some type of value. I don't know a whole lot about them. I'm just very interested that crystals that big are down in the cave, y'all. I mean, I'm sure they're all over the place. I see videos of people finding crystals, but nothing that big. That is humongous, y'all. And if it's hot, I mean, how would they even extract? They have ways of doing things, don't they? Hello, Full Throttle. Village food season. How you doing, man? Good afternoon. Good evening where you are. Yeah, let's play some more videos, y'all. These things are interesting to me. And, I like to share things that I believe are interesting to me. They may be interesting to you too, just saying. I think I'd take that one off. We're going to find out where that's coming from. Obviously, I have videos playing in the background, and I don't know how that happened, but it's okay. Yeah, I got some tree videos and everything, y'all, but they playing in the background. It's like somebody's clicking my computer for me, and my heat is on. It's crazy, y'all. It's got me hot again in here. Yeah, it's fascinating, y'all. When they play on their own, that's crazy. But yeah, let's play one here. Trees and things, that like, man, what happened? I think this is the one. All right, let's try to get it to play. A little bit of technical difficulties here. Yeah. World Tour, is good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, sir. Hope y'all can hear me. Wayne the Pain, Super Dave, doing good, brother. Good to see you, man. Nez Lover. Who was that you were just live streaming? We're missing in the community. Please put it in the chat. Because when you went live, I was about to click on going live, and I watched you a few minutes, and you were showing it on your phone. Look at these mountains and these. What does that look like to you all? I mean, does that look like natural formations? And, things like this interest me too, y'all. Um, can you see it? Let me see. I should be sharing this. I don't even think it's playing. I'm probably playing the wrong one. I don't normally do this. So let me make sure I share the right one. Told y'all I couldn't get my ducks in a row, CSE. Are you still here? Nez Lover, I told people to come to your live. Did you? Well, who are we missing in the community that I was asking you about? Thank you very much, Nez. Thank you. God bless you. I didn't know that you knew I was live. I thought you was live. All right, y'all. Let's get back on track. All right, like these big trees. You know what they say about these big trees and everything, y'all. They were cut down and for specific reasons. Yeah, I'll zoom in on it a little bit. But these trees, according to them, they were like, according to the book of Enoch and the Bible, I believe, these trees could have been like 3 miles high. Just saying, y'all. I have more video, so please hang in there. If I can just get the volume right on all of them. I don't normally go through this. But these are like, off of a different platform.
I don't know if you guys are ready for this one. Someone AI'd the flat-topped mountains and basalt columns, or otherwise ancient tree stumps, around the world and showed what they would look like as trees. And these are the trees mentioned in the book of Enoch, which reached the heavens during the time of Noah. Hello. Now, I think they would actually be taller. Like, obviously, that is insanely tall, but I think they went even higher up there. Think of Jack and the Beanstalk. He lived up a giant stalk of a plant in the clouds in a giant ancient tree. And Jack had to go. Now, didn't they say in the Book of Enoch? Here's Ayers Rock, by the way, in Australia. I wouldn't doubt it. Here's the crazy part, though. Jack and the Beanstalk, he had to go up the tree. And here's Devil's Tower. How can I forget? Beautiful, man. I can imagine when that was a tree. I would love to treehouse in there. Are you kidding me? But here's the crazy part. Jack and the Beanstalk, he went up there to slay the giant who stole his dad's castle from up there. And what did they say? God sent down 200 angels to cut down the ancient trees so that the giants couldn't climb the trees to survive the flood. I'm telling you right now, something ain't adding up with the official story of how our Earth's history has came to be, man. 100%. The more you go down the rabbit hole of things going on around the world, the more you realize they certainly do not prefer the story of Genesis and the notion of a creator. They do prefer you to believe that you are completely random, a random chance that evolved from fish and amoebas and everything. But what do you think? Because last I checked, let's just start from the beginning here, 50 trillion cells. Your body is 50 trillion cells. Do you think they randomly all formed? If you could watch a video of a human embryo when it gets fertilized, or when the egg starts growing, boom, you have a little fetus growing. If you watch their nervous system get grown, it is so complex, like a spider web, knowing exactly which neuron's going to the next. To think that that was random is such a stretch. I'm going to tell you right now, it may very well be flat, be around 6,000 years old. Ancient giants, dinosaurs were really just dragons and big ass reptiles, because when there was ancient trees, there was a lot more oxygen, which made them grow larger, which is also why there were giants who could grow larger, and there was humans who can live a lot longer, like Noah for 900 years. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Trees. If you think we were created at random, I believe you're mistaken. We have been created with every little detail put in place by our Creator. And I believe that wholeheartedly. There is nothing that is a mistake. Everything is put finally in place by the Creator. Every cell, every organ, every brain cell, you name it. Any and everything, every living creature, on and under, in the dirt, whatever. Everything's too intricate, too complex. It would have had to have a creator, y'all. Yes, I believe that. Yes. Hello, Max. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Appreciate everybody coming in and joining the stream, y'all. I saw your video earlier, Max. Yes, you getting out early throughout the night, early in the morning or something like that. Your light was left on at the end of the camper. Yes, and you was getting water out the truck. For real. That water won't freeze up because they put antifreeze in it, y'all. For real. For real, Super Dave. Yes. Great Value brand has been caught doing that. For but I won't go into all that today, y'all. Really. Did I leave something up? Let's share some more videos, y'all. A little bit. Yeah, let's keep going.
Oh, as if that's not crazy enough. The location,
I think YouTube don't like me sharing these off.
If you haven't heard about the insane connection between the United Nations headquarters, where it's located, and the fallen angels of the Book of Enoch, then make sure you stick around. Strangely enough, the United Nations headquarters is located on Mount Hermon. Coincidentally, when you read the Book of Enoch, the fallen angels, there was 200 of them who descended on the days of Jared in the summit of Mount Hermon. Now, as if that's not crazy enough, the location, the latitude and longitude of Mount Hermon is 33.33 east and 33.33 north. And then we take a look at the United Nations logo. And if you see the individual sections here, if you count them, there's 33 sections. What a striking coincidence. We know in Freemasonry, the highest level that you can achieve is 33 degrees, which is why they use this number in everything. Mount Hermon was also very close to the mountain that Jesus ascended on, and Jesus was crucified at 33 years old. What's even more interesting about this story is Jesus dies at 33. You have 33 vertebrae in your spine, and there is an oil called Christos that goes up and down your spine every 28 days. When it hits a nerve called the vagus nerve, which looks like a cross, it dies for about 2.5 days and resurrects in your body 3 days later. Isn't that incredible? The story of Jesus is written in our bodies alone. Perhaps it's all metaphors, who knows? Anytime you see the number 33 in these major events that continue to happen throughout our whole history, you know it's the fingerprint of these people that control the United Nations, these people behind the closed doors. The 33-hour manhunt has continued, or it's over now, for Charlie Kirk. Symbolism never lies, and it's always in our faces. United Nations is a small group of people who control everything. By the way, they use a flat earth map in their logo too, just to laugh in your face. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, and follow for more hidden truth. Peace and love.
Peace and love to you. Peace and love to you. Hello, Miss Blanche. How are you doing? Did I see Miss Blanche here, y'all? I believe I did. Was that Miss Blanche? I can't find you now. Gator Sky Exploration, Misty World. Hello, yes, Miss Blanche is here, y'all. She put, hey there, Super Dave 44. I see you, ma'am. For real. Yes. Thanks for asking. Yes. Hope this finds you well. Mike Smith, appreciate it, man. Thank y'all. I'm just learning stuff when I watch videos. This is kind of a process. Besides researching, videos is part of the research. Everybody has an opinion. People do their research and have knowledge on this stuff. How can one man research everything, you know? So play a little videos with knowledge. It's what it's all about, y'all. It's share some knowledge. It's okay to share some knowledge. Yes, I didn't have much to do today anyway. I'm going to go out a little bit later in case anybody's trying to like track me or something. Just kidding, y'all. But anyway, yeah, we was watching this video. I didn't finish it because another video was playing in the background. Even looks kind of slow, you know. If you can hear me, some of it does. Does it look natural, like the Grand Canyon? A lot of places are not. They'll tell us that these are natural formations. That in the past, that they had great abilities to carve out even these pyramids and a lot of these, like the Sphinx in a lot of different places, y'all. Just saying, you know. My biggest project all day here lately has been keeping water for the critters. Hello, John P. Good to see you, man. Yes. Where's some knowledge at in the chat, y'all? For real. Anybody got some knowledge in the chat? Have y'all read the Epstein files, Miss Blanche? Hello and happy Sunday. Yes, I know some stuff about all that. They're only showing us what they want us to see. There's in great detail some other things, y'all, but I'm not getting into that today. Super Dave's not like a figure out the code thing today, y'all, you know? For real. I'm into a little knowledge today. I was like, man, I watched some of these videos overnight. You know, I woke up throughout the night. I was like, well, it's cool, y'all. you know, crystals, pyramids, landscape, trees, natural formations, and things that you might not know that people did some carvings and things on, you know, even like this thing right here. Hope it don't shock nobody. Most of you are aware of these things, you know. Let's share this here, and hopefully everything will play all right. Because, like all these other things, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Now, what you're seeing right here is straight out of the Bible. Absolutely biblical stuff. Now, do you honestly believe that this is a sculpture? Look at the hair. Look at the beard on this petrified Titan. You can see here this being is holding some sort of creature down as well. And here's the other side of this sculpture. Now, the thing is this is not the only example. Have a look at this dude, this rock formation. Look at the face. Look at the blood on the shin, the nipple here, the chest. Now you have to understand, our ancient history, our real ancient history, is littered with stories of giants, the Nephilim, all throughout religious texts, all throughout our ancient cultures. And we can see examples of this all over our world. Petrified beings. Like, no one is going to sit there and tell me that this is a rock formation and not a massive petrified elephant. The exact same shape. This is from above here. Look at that. Again, if you have the eyes to see and you understand that our history has been fabricated and hidden from us, then it's easy to see all of these beings all across the world that have been petrified. This one is just too obvious. Again, like holding the being down right here, whatever this is, maybe a giant snake, dragon, who knows? Titans, Nephilim, these beings used to roam the earth. This is Naka Cave in Thailand. Naka means snake. No one's going to tell me that this is not a giant petrified snake. The indigenous people of this land know that this is a snake. They tell tales of this. Have a look at the scales, clear as day. Look at this. Clear as day. Giant petrified snake, obviously. These beings used to roam the earth. Now, guys, I'm certainly not religious. I don't believe that any religion should dictate how to rule over your life. However, there is a lot of truth found within a lot of these religions, and you need to decipher that. These are clearly petrified beings, like we have been told by our ancient ancestors, by all this ancient text, by religious texts, the Bible, the Quran. All these religious texts told us that giants used to roam this earth. They are trying to cover up the real origins of humanity and our true history. Once we truly uncover our true history, the system will crumble on itself. The real answers to everything rest within. And don't forget to like, share, and follow for more hidden truth. Peace and love.
What if you know it?
What if the giants of ancient legend weren't myths, but the result of something that went wrong?
Yeah, here we go with something playing in the background again. Yeah. They've tried to hide this type of information from us. The Grand Canyon, you name it. The information is on the ground. It's not really in our history books and things. I've wondered even if America, because there's like people that saying only Florida would have gopher wood. You know, I've kind of been through this a little bit. There are places, you remember the X. You remember the solar eclipse and all this, you know. A lot of these towns are named after these Bible names here in America. Just saying, y'all. I mean, who knows? Our history is not being straightforward, you know. I say it all the time, you know, they lied to us, and they do. We have to discover our own history, because once we do, it'll just bust wide open everything that they've been telling us is a lie. And these people really need to be confronted, the people that are in charge. They need to be confronted with the truth. I'll play a few more videos. I know people's leaving. I don't look. It's Sunday. Go eat your Sunday dinner, y'all. Let's play a few more. Antarctica, rabbit hole. Like Antarctica, there's a treaty, you know, to keep us out of it. Only you can go on a tour. You can see what they want you to see. You remember Robert Byrd way back, early in the century, y'all, of the 1900s. Yeah, he was sent out with this expedition, and, you know, you can only go but so far. I have a belief behind the ice wall. I won't reveal it today. I don't know what's there, but I have a belief that they are hiding something, you know, for a reason. I appreciate y'all coming in. Hello, Sandramar. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you. Sandra Martin. Hello, ma'am. Good to see you. Thank you. Hope you're not snowed in or anything. Let me go ahead and turn you blue because people could accidentally, you know, block you or something. So let's turn you blue. Up is down and down is up. Hiding stuff in the Antarctic. Let me play this little video here. Hello, Michelle C. Eyes to the skies. Hello. Good to see you. Technically, it is Satin Spar. You know, a lot of people don't watch stuff like this, and CSE's here. Yeah, Michelle C. Yes, Gator. Unfortunately, it is flooded with water. Well, hopefully it don't get flooded no more, y'all. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm just taking a little time to have fun with you all, and maybe something will be revealed. Like, I didn't know that.
So what's going on with Antarctica? If you guys didn't know, Antarctica is like one of the biggest conspiracies out there because it is the only place in the world that every government in the entire world has came together and said, okay, we can't let our citizens go there. And they'll actually patrol it, like the US, China, Russia, all countries that hate each other will all come together in unison and like patrol those waters, and they'll shoot down any boats, they'll shoot down any planes. Anybody trying to go to Antarctica privately, they can't do it. Okay, you can go on expeditions and pay for these big expeditions. They'll take you to like a certain area that has got the clearance to be okay, but you cannot go inland of Antarctica. It is illegal. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's just not safe to go there. There's a lot of places that aren't safe to go that no one gives a damn if you go there or not. But for some reason, Antarctica is the only place in the world that every country in the world spends millions and billions of dollars to keep people out of it. Just so we're all on the same page, no countries in the world can agree on religion or like, you know, ethics and morals and, you know, economy and all this other stuff. But the one thing they agree on is like, yeah, don't let them go to Antarctica. We'll let them climb, you know, the Himalayan mountains and Mount Everest, and thousands of people will die doing it every year. But Antarctica, like, who do they think's going to go there? No one has the money to go there if they wanted to, unless they're like some kind of millionaire or billionaire already. But they all gatekeep Antarctica. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this happened, okay? In 1959 is when the world signed the Antarctic Treaty to not let people go to Antarctica. Just a few years before that, Admiral Byrd, if you guys know that name, he was one of the lead military figures in the U.S. military. He went on an expedition there that lasted until 1956. He went on 3 different expeditions there. He actually lost all of his rank, all of his authority, and his reputation because he got back from one of those trips and said that it is a massive hole in the earth. You can read this like online, like his journals. You can just read his journals. Like,
I don't know, as a community, are we to believe Admiral Byrd? The government sent him out, you know, like with a third of the fleet of ships that we have here in America, something like that. A big fleet, thousands of people or whatever, to discover what was in Antarctica. Just saying, y'all. I mean, obviously, if this is somewhat true or really true, based off of what he brought back and everything, and they went back and looked and all and found something that they don't want us to know about. You know how we believe, a lot of us, not everybody, believe like with the central casting that these people are fake. If they're fake people or reptilians, yeah, I go ahead and go ahead and put it out there that behind that ice wall, whatever, where the land is, let's say Greenland, they say there's green. I'm not talking about the country of Greenland. I'm talking about Antarctica, that there is lakes and streams and waterfalls and beautiful. It's kind of like, my own words, the Garden of Eden or something like that. Just saying. I mean, in people's reportedly or whatever, saying UFOs. UFOs, a lot of people believe, are entities. You know, is there something related to these reptilian people there? I'm just putting it out there. That's all I'm asking. You know, in Antarctica, whether it be history or whatever. I mean, really, y'all. I mean, think, use your mind. Why don't they want us to know what is there?
He said it was a massive hole in the earth. There was crafts coming out of it. It was a endless bottomless pit. There was things coming up out of it. There was this massive void. He truly thought that is what the reason why you see UFOs is not UFOs coming from other planets. He thinks they come from this hole because he saw things going in and out of there. And he said, I cannot describe because I've never seen anything like it in my life. It is like there's a void, a hole punched in the middle of the earth that is so far across that you can't see the other side of it. It is so deep you can't see the bottom of it. And he said it was extremely warm next to this hole. And we know that the center of the earth is hot. And he said that is a direct hole to the center of the earth is essentially what he wrote in his report. But he was unable to verify any of this. After he wrote that report, he was decommissioned, out, never allowed to be in charge of anything again, obviously. And then the world signed the Antarctic Treaty, and that's when we stopped letting people go there. That is not a conspiracy. That is not a myth. That is a fact of the Antarctic Treaty exists. That was his journal that was said right before the Antarctic Treaty. Now, what he really saw, who knows? He was a pretty reputable guy. I mean, we trusted him with like a third of the military. So you would think that he wasn't crazy, but anyhow, there is all kinds of conspiracies going on down there. It is a fascinating rabbit hole if you all want to jump in that and go down that big rabbit hole. A lot of people say that we are actually exiled, and the Antarctic ice wall is like what separates us from the other true civilization. A lot of people say that Lord of the Rings is actually not just a fantasy book. Middle Earth is like a whole nother area of like what's on this side of the ice wall, and we're like in another outer perimeter. Weirdly enough, if you go look at old sea maps from like the 14, 15, and 1600s, they actually show the ice wall at the bottom of all those maps. And in the middle of that, they show an opening, and they actually have like diagrams of other countries on the other side of that. Those are old maps. Once again, you can look up those old maps. Some of these maps exist in museums, and that's what's on all of them. What's weird is some of these maps that were made in India, from the UK, from all over the different parts of the world that had explorers, they drew the same damn map. They all said it was mapped the same. It wasn't like this was just one map where this guy thought of it this way. A bunch of people described it there. It is crazy, crazy, crazy how accurate all their maps are essentially the same, and it's people that never spoke to each other. But when they went exploring, they came up with the same diagram. And you thought you could explore Antarctica on Google Maps, right? So you can just verify for yourself what's there. Nope, you can't. They black most of it out, or it just says area unavailable. Kind of like when you're hovering over like U.S. military bases and stuff. Can't even look at it on Google Maps. Even more so, we know that Antarctica is like super nutrient rich because you can see from the sidewalls of it that it literally has waterfalls that look like blood's coming out of it because it's so iron and nutrient rich that it just pours out of the side of it. But no one wants to claim those. Why? It's the only landmass in the world that no country has tried to stake a claim to. They all agreed to protect it. Why? If it's super nutrient rich like that, we know for a fact it is. What are they hiding there, or what are they protecting? So what's going on?
Yeah. What are they hiding? What are they protecting? Might be because it's just so fertile or whatever. Who knows? We could just imagine and imagine and imagine until the truth is truly known. I'd say we need to kind of go off of what Robert Byrd said, because he went on TV and these shows before they put everything under wraps. Might want to do a little research about it, y'all. What did Robert Byrd find? More land. I'm sure he did. The elephant in the room. Yes, there's an elephant, y'all. So, so interesting. Thank you, Paris. Thank you. Good to see you, and thank you. Please hit that thumbs up, y'all. How long we been live? Let's see, 45 minutes. I have a couple more very instant videos, y'all. You learn a lot of times by listening, to other people. I do. My stepdaddy used to say, be quiet and listen. You'll learn more that way. As a kid, a lot of us want to talk a lot, y'all. And ask questions, like, you ever been told you ask too many questions? Let somebody else talk.
Y'all are not ready for this one. The old world got smoked. This used to be a city. These structures melted buildings. There was a cataclysm, melted the whole thing down. These are petrified buildings. There was once a worldwide empire that was completely wiped out, and you can still find it if you got the eyes to see. That is a whole bridge. Does that look like a natural formation to you? Is that natural? What about here? Are we believing this is natural? You got an entryway, you got a small door, you got some rebar sticking out. I mean, that is a whole dome up top. I think it's pretty clear what this looks like. And now over here, giant castle. Look at the melted doorways. Look at the vertical saturated lines. The top of this building, you can see a spire. Now right here, come on, this one's obvious. Perfectly right angles, archways, openings, anything but natural. A lot of these places have pockets of survival, and you can see the remains, and once you see it everywhere, especially in the places that they claim were carved out of stone, like Petra or Cappadocia. Personally, I think Cappadocia could have been the real Tower of Babel. They found that this place actually goes so far as 18 stories deep, and 80% of it is still unexplored. I'm pretty sure the whole thing was above ground at one point. An advanced civilization trying to usurp God, and then we got all these different languages. Now, the structures at sites like these, they get marshmallowed, crisped, smoked on the outside, and yet inside they're
A lot of these cultures from the past, like the Romans or a lot of people from the past, they had water, they had baths, they had waterfalls, they had areas of gathering within these caves or homes, or, you know, people knew how to harness energy, for whatever purposes, like electricity for lights and things. I can imagine us, with the old torch and, the fire burning through the caves. But a lot of these civilizations really knew how to harness energy.
completely preserved. In Psalms it says, the hills melted like wax at the presence of Yahweh. And that's exactly what it looks like. You think they made these fancy brick arches inside and then made the outside look like crap? And then you look at places like this, I see skyscrapers. Look here in Italy, Russia, Turkey, all the same thing. We see the same style of stacking everywhere. What we have is a real Sodom and Gomorrah, fire from the sky event. And these places melted like wax and then likely washed away after. Now let's take a look at the Grand Canyon. Sphinx in Egypt, Sphinx at the Grand Canyon. This is a whole face on a structure. Yeah, and they even tell you all these sites are called pyramids and temples named after their false gods. Now, why would they do that? Because they know, and that's why so many of these areas are restricted. Go see my video on the Grand Canyon. This could have been the original Egypt. They lie about everything. Now, what about over here in Pakistan? It's no doubt once you see it, you can't unsee it. Something crazy happened in our past. Earthquakes, fire from the sky, floods, cataclysms.
It's something else. You know how they did supposedly in Iraq? Destroyed a lot of history, statues, paintings, different things. It truly happened according to the history books. Did they go back and did they destroy a lot of these civilizations? A lot of these buildings have damage, mountains, whatever their carvings. I know earthquakes and I know natural events and weather and all these things take its toll, but a lot of these places have been defaced, really, to where you can't really understand what they were there for, you know. Just saying, y'all. I mean, thank y'all.
There has been so much erased from our history, but it's all hidden in plain sight. Y'all are not ready for this one.
Yeah, so much of our history has been erased, whether it be Indians or whoever you might want to think they are. Whoever, the Hopi. There was proof that even the Chinese, thousands of years ago, had sailed to America way before we discovered America. Just saying, y'all. I mean, so yeah, there's a lot of history that we don't know and understand about. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, Anybody else here? You like Miss Blanche's explanation? Elephant in the room. An idiom for a major, obvious problem or controversial issue that everyone knows about, but no one mentions, usually due to embarrassment. Well, have a good day, Gate Smasher. Thank you. I appreciate y'all coming in and hit that thumbs up. History and things that, look, they're not going to teach you this in high school, y'all. Grammar school or middle school. They're not going to tell you there were here in America civilizations. We discovered all of it. Back Christopher Columbus. He discovered America, y'all. America was here before anybody from England discovered it, okay? I know this guy here, he's kind of being picked on by the truth seeker. I shouldn't have said that, but yeah, he put a... Let me play this video, y'all, before I get in trouble.
What in earth could pyramids, fallen angels, giant craters, and this guy have in common? Stick around. You're going to want to find out. I don't do a lot of scrolling, but Jillian's video came up that I'm about to show you, and I'm going to let you watch, and then we're going to break it down and go follow her on whatever platform you're on.
What if I told you that our next president is being referred to as a phoenix rising from the ashes? Let's walk through how this phrase both ties into the occult and the golden age of Aquarius. Let's talk about the Hermetic order.
I don't know how I got this pulled up here. Let me go ahead and skip this for a moment. I might come back to it. I don't want to disappoint nobody, but the Phoenix Rising may not be what you think it is. Let me make sure I get to my last video that I wanted. I'm not sure how that got up there, but it's all good, y'all. I might play it at the end. Knowledge. Like the Phoenix Rising, what does it mean, I know a lot of you know. But that girl was trying to explain it in a way that maybe a lot of people don't know. So, yeah, let me get to this video here. And it shows this Tyler Hanson twice. Jack and the Beanstalk, y'all. What was that really about? Jack and the Beanstalk.
Hey, Jack, you better hang on to that beanstalk because I'm about to chop it all the way down. And by chopping, I mean exposing. Exposing what this fable is really about. You see, this story isn't about some magical beans or a beanstalk or even a boy named Jack. It's about giants. But not this kind of giant. This kind of giant. The giant the size of mountains.
Giants the size of mountains. Just like we talked about trees. I even remember it being described that the trees, all the canopies of the trees covered the whole earth. Do you believe it? That they were that humongous and gigantic. But yeah, giants the size of mountains.
Who in fact might just happen to be the mountains. Now, if you stick with me for just another minute, I'm going to prove to you that these giants existed. And it all started in Genesis 6:4, when it talks about how there were giants in the earth in those days, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men and created the Nephilim. And the Nephilim they weren't 20 or even 25 feet tall. They were 3 miles tall. But these giants, they became perverse and started eating everything and everyone and even each other. So God, in preparation for the flood that was going to wipe out all of humanity and all of the giants, to start fresh with the seed of Noah, sent down the watchers to chop down the giant trees that I will show you. And it says, the watchers, the Holy One, came down from heaven saying, cut down the tree and destroy it, but leave the stump with its roots in the ground. The reason they were doing this, so the giants didn't have an escape. They couldn't climb, and the less trees, the less giant trees, the less oxygen there would be in the air. So these giant beings would suffocate if they didn't drown. Now, you might not realize there's evidence of all these giant trees, but you will in a second. Like this one, that's Devil's Tower, that literally this stump is 900 feet tall. And all you have to do is open your eyes and look, and you will see that these giant trees and their remnants and their stumps that were left behind are everywhere, all over this flat realm we live in. And in New Mexico, at a place called
giant petrified axe called the Momo wing. If you don't know about this, apparently they left this behind, and people like speculate. How did they cut them trees down? How did they do it? A giant petrified axe called the Momo wing. I've never looked it up. I could do that right now. The Momo wing. I'm not going to be live much longer, but let me look that up real quick. It's right here on Google. The Momo wing. Let's come over here. Let's share that little bit of information as we're still here sharing information. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for hanging in there, y'all. The Momo wing. It's crazy, y'all. Did you know about this? I didn't know about it until I looked it up. Apparently, this is how they cut the trees down. I'm not sure, but it is a giant thing, y'all. King of Wings, something like that. Images. In case you don't know, Google it. Something like that looks kind of dull. It may have been sharp in its time. I don't know. Momo wings, or the King of Wings, is a famous fragile sandstone hoodoo rock formation. For real? How'd they even move this thing around, y'all? Let me get the AI mode. Maybe they'll know a little bit more over there. The Momo wing. The term Momo wing primarily refers to the King of Wings, a famous and fragile sandstone hoodoo rock formation in the Bisty Badlands of New Mexico. They don't really want to tell you a lot about this. Just wanted to share that before we take it down. There's a lot of pictures about it. People ask, how did they cut these trees down? Them giant trees, y'all. It doesn't tell me much. I just see a big type thing. You would think it would have to be really sharp. Back in its time. And I don't know if it took a lot of time to cut these giant trees down or what. So I got a lot of homework still to do, y'all. Like, there's a lot of good information out there concerning this and a lot of stuff, so you just got to know where to go and look for it. Let me finish playing my video before I lose everybody. Thank y'all. Hoping everybody's having a great afternoon. Giant petrified axe. A lot of these trees were clean cut, just saying. However they did it, I guess they did it.
called Momo's Wing. They just happened to leave one of those tools that these giant watchers we're using to cut down these giant trees. Now, so far, you might just think I'm off my rocker, but this is where it gets fun. And this is where I convince you these guys existed, because the evidence is all around us. All you have to do is look at these giant rock formations and turn them to a vertical plane, and it's clear as day to see that not only are these rock formations the titans of old, but you can see that they are literally dying, suffocating for air and trying to get their last breath. And you can find images and peaks like this that look like nothing, like I said, until you turn them to the vertical plane and you see their faces. And they exist everywhere.
I know some people are saying, I don't know where it's documented, that a lot of these giants are coming back into our time. That would mean the mountains would have to wake up if a lot of these mountains are really giants. I sure don't want to be squashed by these giants.
Literally dozens upon dozens upon dozens of mountain peaks where all you do is turn them vertical and you see clear as day. And not only that, the ones that are easy to see even while they're laying down gasping for air, but some of them may have had pets, because I don't know about you, but I see a dog face there. Maybe some sort of lizard dragon, I don't know. And as always, they put the truth right in plain sight.
Sharp! Jack raced to the beanstalk and slid down. He could feel the stalk shake as the giant began climbing down. Luckily, his axe was nearby, and he began chopping down the beanstalk. The beanstalk shook and cracked under the weight of the giant and Jack's chopping. Finally, the stalk snapped, and the giant fell to earth, never to be seen again. Jack
And for some more evidence, just look at what some of these petrified rocks actually look like.
Wow, them petrified rocks look pinkish, kind of like Himalayan pink salt that people say that came from the Dead Sea, where there's a lot of people from Sodom and Gomorrah. Their blood is in the salt. I have no proof of that, but as you can see in this pinkish rock, this would either be meat or blood to some people. I don't know. I haven't done my homework enough. Just presenting the evidence, what's in videos out there. There's a lot of questions, you know, more questions really than answers.
So as I always say, you can go on believing the mainstream narratives and the fables they feed us, or you can decide to seek truth and real knowledge and understand that this place that we live, this place we call Earth, is nothing like they want you to believe. And the sooner you figure it out, the sooner we all get our power back. I hope you enjoyed story time for today. And as always, I hope you know this was only for entertainment. I'm just here to be a satire account and give you guys enjoyment and laughs. You guys, I made a shirt talking about giants being hidden by the Smithsonian because they hide them. So if you're interested in that, check out fitisflatearther.com. Have a
Giant
great day.
being hidden by the Smithsonian. I don't doubt it. This is in Saudi Arabia.
Do you remember when we were in Utah? Do you remember when I told you that we would be coming back? Today, we are going to wake people up and show the world that this place that we all live is not at all what we have all been told. Are you ready? Here we go. Here we have the melted structure that we covered, where there are arches, bridges, and the rest. Very clear melting all over the place. So as we zoom out here, we are going to see a massive head. Of course, in my opinion, a dragon. Right here, you can very clearly see its jaw with all of its teeth. Zooming out even more, you can see the size of this thing. with its wings and everything. And once you see this, you will never unsee it ever again while looking at the map of the USA. Today, we are going to be showing a lot of places.
Yeah,
that when
I said Saudi Arabia earlier. You know,
looking at a map again, this world will never look the same.
then it
We're
skipped to another video. So yeah, I was trying to share this on my way out. So if y'all want to be here, you can be. Education is good for me, y'all.
hiding right in front of our faces for so long until now. When we zoom in on this location, you are going to see it just has scales all over it. Perfect 90-degree angles over and over and over. Where we are told from back in episode 79, this kind of stuff just happened back in the Triassic ages from 200 million years ago. We had the wind just blowing the right way back then. No. And this dragon, of course, has the name Black Dragon Canyon right in the mouth, and a highway, Route 70, in our advanced civilization just cruising right through its head for years. And nobody said anything. Nobody knew. Where we know what a tooth looks like, we don't need somebody to tell us. And those are massive teeth, 100%, with Mystery Arch off to the right. And we also know that there are 12 Chinese zodiac signs. We have the rat, the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. We have 11 things that are very real, and we all know this. And then we have the dragon. And I'm just going to ask the question, why would there be 11 real animals? And then there is one that is a myth. Or are all 12 very real? It's an interesting time to expose this because we are, of course, right in the middle of the year of the dragon. And we're just getting started today. Welcome to episode 83 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome. Now, we've all known about dragons. We've seen them in the movies or on TV shows. We've heard of them in books and the rest. We also have a copy of a dictionary where you look up the word dragon, and it says that they are now very rare. A huge serpent, a fabulous animal, now rare. It's very interesting. Where we have all...
The Bible talks about dragons. Can you find the word dinosaur in the Bible? I know people don't have much patience through all this, but just teasing. Appreciate you coming in. I rock out in your area. You live in a geology playground. Helping you're in a better mood than you were earlier this morning. Well, I hope you're in a better mood too. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Did somebody else come in? I could end this now. Okay, no pink salt for me. I'm just saying what people have put out there, ma'am. How did the pink get in the salt? Like in these rocks, and I'm not a scientist. I don't play one on YouTube. Dinosaurs. I watched a lot of videos about dinosaurs. That a lot of these pieces, these bones, even like the head would be missing, and they would add something, you know, to make it look like something that it really wasn't. The Bible does mention dragons, but doesn't mention dinosaurs, right? Yeah.
Also heard of Leviathan, a sea dragon with limbs, fire-breathing abilities, and impenetrable scales. Now, this is mentioned multiple times in the Bible, where God left only one alive, so that it couldn't destroy the rest of creation. And the word dragon occurs 21 times in the Old Testament, This is all before the word dinosaur was ever invented. Nobody was saying there were dinosaurs until 1842, when Sir Richard Owen just made it up, the exact time period that we've all been talking about on this channel throughout the first 83 episodes, where he just made up the name. And then a few years later, they find one for the first time. And regardless of scripture, regardless of signs from China, where we can all take that research and keep it if we'd like, we can also see for ourselves. We can see what is still here, which we are going to continue to do today. We also know that the griffin, the symbol of Tartaria, shown on their flags, is not a dragon, but they are very similar, where we know that if one was here, who knows what else was here, where we all live today. How big were things in the past? The significance of this is massive. It would mean that the land layout that we are all shown, this little ball, is...
It does mention dinosaurs. I didn't know that, Miss Delilah. Yes, it does mention both dragons and dinosaurs. I don't know. Is anybody here in agreement with that? But I do know dinosaurs, like this guy said in the video, the word dinosaur wasn't invented until in the 1800s, right? That's something I've always questioned. Like I say, I don't play a scientist here on YouTube. I just play videos and try to learn from them. But I do know the Bible mentions dragons many times.
Is way too small for a creature this size. So how much more land is there? There's no way that this massive creature could be flying around in our little cage that we're all shown, which is kind of what we are all dealing with right now, in my opinion. A little cage in a little season. And we all know that if I'm bringing up the possibility of dragons, that I'm not just going to show you one. We aren't even close to done. So let's go find another one and go to Northern Africa, where the head, the mouth, is right next to Morocco. You can see the head right here with its mouth open, exactly like we saw in Utah, with its wings right here going to its body. Personally, I will never be able to look at Utah or Morocco the same ever again. So I've taken all the borders out and all the names off the map so we can just look at this thing. Imagine this flying around and how big things used to be. So we have this one in Utah, where its head alone is 66.65 miles in length and about 182 miles in length overall. And this one in Africa is even bigger, with its head alone being 308 miles in length. The head by itself is nearly double the size of the entire body of the one in Utah, where I have to be honest, I feel like this episode may be the most incredible video to this point. Finding massive dragons within our land layout, which would show the land that we've all been living on for all of our lives, has massive dragons embedded into it. Dragons that have been here all along, and we just couldn't see them until we finally opened our minds and were finally able to think for ourselves, finally able to process information without simply dismissing it, because we were never told about it by our teachers. Our Channel 4 just hasn't mentioned it yet. And if they haven't mentioned it, it could never be true. This thought process is done. We are moving on. It's time to realize what's going on and where we all are and what we're all doing here. This proves to me that there are other things that are here in this place that we all live that are definitely going to be revealed to us the further that we go. Because once you can see and have an open mind and have thousands of us and one day millions all working together, we are going to find it all, just like we are today, just like we're about to do right now. Did you think that was the only two dragons? No. I saved the best for last. But first, let's take a minute and thank all of our badge members, all of our Patreons, and every single subscriber, and everybody who likes the videos, where we all know that I'm just sharing my research. You are always allowed to think whatever you'd like. If you think this is all a coincidence, you are 100% free to do that. If you think that these are dragons or snakes, you definitely can. I am not and never will tell anybody what to think. This, at the end of the day, is my research. And I am just sharing whatever I find with you all in the best way that I know how. Putting it all into the world from my perspective and just letting the world see what I see. Now that that's
All right, there's like 6 minutes left. Miss Delilah, I know in the book of Revelations, the dragon is mentioned many times. I can't remember off the top of my head every little detail of dragon this and dragon that. The Bible mentions the word. If you've ever even been in church and heard the preacher or read the Bible for yourself, there are times that the dragon is mentioned. But I promise you, I've never heard or read, and I've read quite a bit of the Bible. I've never can admit and say that I've read the whole Bible, sit down and, in this year I read the Bible or whatever. But I mean, there's a lot of scripture that I do remember. And I remember the dragon over the dinosaur. We can all agree to disagree, and that's what it's about. If we can find information out there about anything, and help correct one another or whatever, that is welcome on my channel. And a lot of people don't like, on their channel to do that. I can stand corrected. It does not hurt my feelings whatsoever, y'all.
That's been said, let's keep going. Let's go much further than before. We're finding things like what we have found today, in my opinion, solidify that there was something insane going on here that is so much different than just cowboys and Indians, cavemen, and people riding around on horses and wagons. For thousands of years, the narrative that we are all told from day one is controlled. And we know this. It's not the full truth. In fact, it is very far from it. It is a narrative that keeps your mind inside of a box and does not allow you to see things outside of it. Where something massive has happened here, where we all live today. And we are just getting started on this channel. So are you ready? Here we go. We have shown 2 dragons today that are not going to wake up. They're laying on our land and are definitely no longer alive. Where this one that I'm about to show is a massive dragon, in my opinion.
There are many things on this earth, like the Serpent Mound. I wish I could go to, or I need to plan a trip to go to. There are many, even in Mexico, and pyramids and places that are just scattered all over the earth, like these big trees that were cut down, So let's go to the last dragon that this guy has found.
That may still be alive. Where we now know that this place that we all live today is much more in depth than what we have been told, where we know that the history that we've all been told is complete nonsense all over the world, where we also know that alligators have the capability to enter a state of dormancy called brumation during the winters to survive cold environments, becoming dormant below 55 degrees, keeping their nose out of the water just to breathe. Again, the dragon is the only one that is not real. Now, is this true? Why would one not be real? Are you 100% sure that it's not real? Are you 100% sure it's not still here today in a dormant state? Still here in our oceans, still here, and possibly going to wake up if the temperature reaches above 55 degrees. A massive dragon, in my opinion, without a doubt, a massive head with its nose out of the water, exactly like we see with the alligators, where it looks like we have 16 degrees to work with. So let's zoom in on this thing's head and see exactly what's going on at its nose, where we are told that we have islands, places that we cannot drop the guy down and see what's going on. Islands with the name Vindication Island, where they're coloring around it and not hiding anything at all. Give me a break. What is going on at this so-called Bristol Island? They clearly got their crayons out and colored in around this creature's nose. We are not able to see where it's still breathing and are just told that these are islands that you, of course, cannot put the guy down on. Now, again, a dragon, a snake, whatever it is, a creature of this size, where its head alone is over 1,100 miles long. This creature would never fit on a tiny ball, like we are all told. Where this is proving, in my opinion, that there is a lot more land. Whether you believe that we are on a ball or not, whether you think that this place is flat or not, the ball or the plane that we have all been shown would have to be much larger. The map that we are shown is simply not the full map. It would have to extend much further.
That brings me to this map that this guy is showing. We talked a little bit about Antarctica. With this middle wall here that surrounds us, let's say, is the Antarctic wall. It apparently has an opening. Water will level itself out through that opening, like our seas as being the same level as the seas outside this wall. If you look in the early Bibles, not only the word dragon, you will find these maps that look like this. I'm not saying I'm a flat earther. All I'm doing is seeking truth. And inside this first wall is us in France, in Australia, and all the lands that we know about. We get weird over here on my channel, if you want to call it that. Truth can be weird, you know, outside of this wall. And people believe this, that there are many lands outside of this first wall. And then I believe this, and I've said it many times on my channel, that I feel like the land goes indefinitely, that we can't measure the land. You know, the shapes of these, you look at Greenland. I mean, there's proof behind what I'm saying. On a globe, you know, it's smaller in a lot of times. You know, it's not depicting the actual size of Greenland or even Iceland. And there's other countries and, you know, continents, you know, the same way. I don't have a list of them all. I mean, but we're not presented the truth about everything, you know, really about anything. In seeking the truth, you know, it just, whether if you're, you know, confused or not, that's what seeking the truth sometimes will do to you. It'll take you down these so-called rabbit holes, and, you know, you just like go deeper and deeper, and you just keep going. A lot of these things, you know, it's just till you get to a finalization of what you're searching for, you know, when it comes to the truth. We got about 4 minutes, and I don't mean to run everybody out. Nothing to do with it, y'all. It's truth about things. And like I said, this map is in the early Bibles. I believe the Bible 100%. I'm sorry if people don't. I believe the Old Testament is just as you know, proof worthy, and everything is the New Testament today. I believe that. Just because you have 4,000 priests say whatever they want to say doesn't make it true, you know? Because we're finding out that our past is not what we're being told.
Further out. This is clearly ahead. There is zero doubt about it. And it's been here all along, our entire lives. And we've never seen it before until now, because we're asking questions with its head coming out of the water to breathe, exactly like the alligator does. And it makes perfect sense, since this is the location where there is nothing, just a mass amount of water and zero land. And this is the reason that there are so many bases and stations set up right here next to it, researching this dragon, Is this the true reason for the Antarctic Treaty? Where if we go to polarconnection.org, we will see where figure 2 says the Antarctic with the area south of 60 degrees south latitude indicated in red. This is the location that we cannot go. You can't just rent a boat and go down there, where you can see there is another boundary, the CCAMLR boundary, which literally lines up perfectly with this dragon's head. The head is in the middle of these two circles. In fact, they even end the CCAMLR boundary line right after this dragon's head. So how much clearer could this get? This is unbelievable. And you can even see that right next to this head, it looks like this might be an arm and a hand. These are now locations, places on our map that I'm guessing we will never be able to look at again the same. And they open so many doors for us. Where did these dragons come from? Is there more land? Are there more dragons on our land layout that we just haven't found yet? Are there more dragons out there past the 60th degree parallel? What other species are still out there waiting to be discovered? How many dragons were there? There are so many questions. But today, I feel like we have proved factual information, proving that massive dragons existed and possibly still do, with bases and stations circling around it, with it being blocked off from all of us. And not just one, but multiple dragons right here on our map, where these dragons would never be able to live on such a small map, proving that our true map has to be much bigger and possibly has other creatures living in outer space, where we live in the inner space, where it seems that we should all hope that the temperature in this location, just below South America, stays below 55 degrees, or else something massive may just be waking up from its sleep. And when we continue to look, we will continue to find massive dragons all over this place that we all live, just like we find covering half of the United States of America, where we all might have to start looking at Florida a little different from now on. Is that just random dirt, or are millions of people living right on top of what used to be a dragon, and that piece of land is actually a foot?
All right, y'all. Thank you. Appreciate it. The Girls Are Us. How you doing, ma'am? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate the support, y'all. Please hit that thumbs up. Do that for me. I'm about to end the live stream. The best way to support the channel at this time is buy me a coffee. Yes, I like coffee, y'all, and I need to buy some mushroom coffee. I drank my last package up, y'all. You can order it on eBay like me. I'm just here, and I go from here to there. I try to seek the truth. Just like if you read the Bible and you're seeking the truth. In your heart, if you pray and you're seeking the truth. There's many ways to seek the truth. You know, God, show me the way. Show me what is real, you know. Show me if somebody is deceiving me. You know, show me, am I on the right path? We have to do these things, y'all, looking for truth. Not, like I say, you might get a little confused on your path, on your journey. We're all on a journey here, y'all, and truth matters. It really does. Truth matters. You wouldn't want to be brought into a religion or a cult, whatever it might be, and it's not the truth. And you're just living out your life in something that's not true, because it matters. Whether if we've been told something that's not true, we have to, like the moon or anything else. if you believe they went to the moon, there's a whole array of subjects. Many things that we've been lied about, you know? It's common sense when they come out and tell you they've lost the technology to go back to the moon. See, a lot of people come here and they're not knowing. I have new subscribers, y'all. I believe in God and I believe in spreading the word, but I also believe that the truth can set us free on many things. Why go through life being deceived by the very people that you trusted, you know? That hurts, is when you trusted the people to tell you the truth. It could be your own spouse. It could be somebody in your family. It could be whatever, our government, let's say. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me read the chat a little bit. Appreciate y'all coming in. Michelle C., thank you, Super Dave. Thank you. Thank you, Mike Smith. The girls are us. Thank you very much. K. Wim, Blues Girls. And that's all I'm trying to do is new subscribers watching. I have new subscribers, y'all. I made it to 12,100 by putting up some short videos on what I believe in. I created myself and all these things. Thank you, new subscribers. If you're watching this video, thank you for your support. Thank you for the thumbs up. I know a lot of people don't get out here and see and find truth channels, whether it be our landscape, dragons, whatever, the pyramids. They've lied to us about a lot of things. And they're lying to us today about a lot of things. You talk about the Epstein files and all this. All this is, when it political, I'll prove it to you one day. Stay subscribed and I'll prove it to you. They're lying to us. It's a distraction. Anything political is a distraction. These people do not have your interest at heart. If they did, they'd already been doing something to help all of us. They're not helping the people that's in these natural disasters. They're not. They don't have our interest at their best heart, you know? Just saying, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. The best way to support the channel is right there in the top link right there, the pinned message. I don't want your money if you can't afford it. If you can, buy me a coffee, y'all, because I'm going to keep putting truth out. And it helps my channel. You know, I have bills too. I have to pay for StreamYard. It's not your fault. I want my channel to keep going. Whether if you help me or not, I'm going to be here. Paying for StreamYard and all the things, the Wi-Fi and all this stuff. But it helps me out, and I really appreciate it, y'all. Thank you for all the support. Thank you, everyone.